We are very excited to make this announcement today about the Park Connect program. And we are at a spectacular location on what we believe will be an exciting and hopefully stress-free summer this year. Madison has been blessed with an incredible shoreline, and this beach has been a treasured asset to our community and to the entire state for many generations. During the pandemic, we've all grown to appreciate Connecticut's many extensive outdoor amenities. In addition to the beach, Madison offers visitors many recreational opportunities, including shellfishing, bird watching, water sports, hiking, mountain biking, and lots of great outdoor dining at some of our local great seafood restaurants. So I'm excited to see the launch of this new public transit program, which will provide greater access to our town and our state's natural resources, so everyone can enjoy a beautiful day at the beach in Connecticut. As the team at Deep knows, access to this park is often constrained by transportation, forcing people to navigate busy roads and clogged intersections, and then trying to find a parking spot, which we all know is a challenge during the summer. So now visitors can kick back and let others do the driving for free. So I'm grateful to turn this over to Commissioner Dykes, and many thanks to all the hard work Deep has done with us and the Estuary Transit for launching this program. We're grateful for this program, Governor, and look forward to its continued success. So thank you.
All right. Well, thank you so much, First Selectwoman. My name is Katie Dykes. I'm the Commissioner at the Connecticut Department of Energy and Environmental Protection, and I am so excited to be here on the Friday before Memorial Day. This is going to be a park season, a summer like no other. I think, there's so much to celebrate as we've come through such a challenging year, a challenging time in terms of the response to this pandemic. We have so much to be proud of in terms of how we have come through this together, the measures we've taken to stay safe over the last year have enabled us to get to this moment where we have the nation-leading vaccination rate, and we are in a place where it's time for us to get back to a new normal. And it's a moment, as we think back over the last year, a lot of us spent time kind of reflecting on things that we had taken for granted, I think. And we saw that with respect to how people were rediscovering or connecting for the first time with all of the amazing state parks and state forests and wonderful recreation areas and land trusts all around our state. We have a proud legacy of protecting these special places in our state, and we really, really recognized the importance of that last year. I just want to say how grateful I am for our incredible team here at Hammonasset, Bill Mattioli and all the park supervisors all across the state, all our wonderful staff and our seasonal staff who made a very challenging but very special year possible last year. Here at Hammonasset, we welcomed more visitors than ever before. 3.6 million visitors, doubling our normal visitorship here at this park, even though we had to cut our parking capacity and close much more frequently to enable the social distancing. That was not easy. It was a lot of hard work from our team, and it's one of the things that has contributed to us being able to be here today and be ready to welcome everyone to a fabulous summer where we can get back to the new normal with less restrictions in place. And so we're really, really excited about what's ahead. I also want to say, that it's a time for us also to reflect on things we've taken for granted around our preservation or protection of Long Island Sound. Just recently, we heard, I know that the EPA issued a report celebrating the improving conditions in Long Island Sound. As a result of water quality improvements in the Sound, we've seen 50 million pounds of nitrogen pollution that have been kept out of the Sound each year because of programs, common sense programs that we've put in place over the years, investments we've made in wastewater treatment plants to keep nitrogen out of the Sound. And so as you think about and enjoy time on the shore this summer, you know, and enjoy that beautiful water, come to think about the environmental regulations and the investments that have helped us improve on that water quality and keep our Long Island Sound safe and for everyone who enjoys it. And we're so excited also to celebrate the passage of the Long Island Sound Blue Plan just 2 weeks ago. Another really landmark investment in the future of the Long Island Sound and all the folks who enjoy it. So it's a great time for us to reflect on and appreciate those investments we've been making in the quality of our environment. Of course, today we're celebrating something new. You know, out of this pandemic, I think we had to improvise. We had to try a lot of new things and get creative and really take a look at what was working and how we could make it better. And one of the things that we realized is we can do so much better in helping to make it easy for people to access our parks, especially folks coming from our city centers, to make it possible for us to partner with the Department of Transportation and leverage our fabulous transit investments to help people get to our parks and get to enjoy a day on the beach. So I'm really excited to welcome our Deputy Commissioner from the Department of Transportation, Garrett Ucalito, who's going to talk about this really exciting innovation that's going to be great for folks to take part in this summer, the Park Connect.
So I'm Garrett Ucalito. I'm the Deputy Commissioner at the Department of Transportation. Really excited to be here today and launch Park Connect. It is something that came together pretty quickly. We had a fantastic team at DOT, some of whom just joined the department during the middle of the pandemic. I'm getting to meet them for the first time today. So it's a great opportunity for me to meet the team that has worked so hard to make this happen. What we've seen during COVID is the importance of real accessible public transportation for all of our residents. What this means today is that a resident who does not have access to a vehicle, can't afford to own a car, doesn't want to drive a car, they will now have opportunities to get to the beautiful places that make Connecticut great. Places like Hammonasset, be able to connect residents with Middletown to come directly to the beach, to Middle Beach, thanks to the partnership of Estuary Transit District. Having a shuttle, the shuttle for Madison as well as the Clinton trolley, be able to park at the Madison Park and Ride, so you don't have to wait in line to get into the park. You can park at the Park and Ride, take the shuttle from there to here, or you can take the Shoreline East train to Madison to Clinton, get off, take the trolley or the shuttle. We're also announcing Silver Sands. We're gonna have a shuttle for the Silver Sands in Milford, Silver Sands State Park. So residents who rely on the Coastal Link, which runs up and down the Post Road, US 1, they'll be able to go from our cities directly to Silver Sands State Park, hopping on the Silver Sands shuttle at the Milford station there. So anyone who's taking the New Haven line, get off at Milford, hop on the Silver Sands shuttle. But we're also taking an opportunity to highlight other connections that we have that already exist. A lot of people don't realize if you live in the New Haven region, you can take our public transit service up to Sleeping Giant State Park. We have 2 bus routes that stop right there, and we need to raise awareness of that. Same thing in southeastern Connecticut. We have Bluff Point and Fort Trumbull. Southeast Area Transit District has routes that serve both of those. So with this new website that's going to be launching today, raising awareness of transit connections to our beautiful state parks, we're hoping to raise awareness, get more people out of their vehicles, or get people onto the transit opportunities to connect them to those state parks if they've never been before, because they've had that barrier, or that what they thought was a barrier of not owning a car, so they couldn't enjoy our parks. So it's a great opportunity. I really want to thank our colleagues at DEEP for partnering with us on this. It was a great idea. We're glad to launch it this year. And it ties in perfectly with Governor Lamont's announcement recently of Weekend Wheels, free transit service on weekends all across the state. The entire state, every bus service in the state is going to be free on weekends, and this is the perfect opportunity for us to tie in access to our parks. So thank you, Governor. Thank you, Commissioner Dykes, and I just appreciate the opportunity to be here.
Hey, Gary, can you spell your name, please?
Yeah, Garrett, Ucalito, EUCALITTO. Yeah, EUCALITTO, like eucalyptus.
Well, thank you, Garrett. We're so excited about this new program. And by the way, one of the other reasons we're excited about it is because it makes it possible for many of our seasonal employees to have a new way to get to the park. So we are still hiring. We have fabulous opportunities for folks to come and join our parks team for the summer in so many different capacities. And now you have, if you don't have a car, if you don't have a way to get here with your own wheels, you can enjoy our transit service as a way to take part and be part of our DEEP employment opportunities. So please check out the DEEP website if you're interested. We are definitely looking for more talented individuals to get involved and join our team. But of course, this is a really exciting summer all across the state. I know we're thrilled to be saying yes to Connecticut with our outdoor recreation facilities, but I'm thrilled to introduce our Interim Tourism Director, Christine Customway, to talk about all of the opportunities folks have to get out and enjoy our tourist opportunities here in the state.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much, Commissioner. It's great to be here with all of you today. My name is Christine Castingway. I'm the Interim Director of the Connecticut Office of Tourism, and we are so pleased, like everyone, to kick off another great summer season here in Connecticut. Thanks to Governor Lamont and his team, plus thousands of Connecticut companies that prioritize safety, the tourism industry is open. We are open for business, and we are on the road to recovery. Based on our research, there is a major pent-up demand for travel, especially regional travel. And among all those who live in the Northeast are going to be looking to get out and explore. And Connecticut is ready. Connecticut is ready to take advantage of that. From everything we're hearing about today, with the opportunity of transportation, with our open parks and beaches, our size and our location make us a great destination for summer day trips, long weekends, and vacations away. And our variety of tourism offerings mean people can spend less time traveling and more time enjoying. And our variety also allows us to say yes to Connecticut. Say yes to Connecticut after a year of having to say no to so much. Now we've all earned the ability and the joy to say yes. We're going to say yes to a Connecticut hotel, a bed and breakfast, or an inn. Say yes to eating out and enjoying your favorite restaurant or bar, cafe, brewery, or winery. Say yes to enjoying all of our state parks and beaches. Say yes to our farms and all of our natural centers. And most of all, say yes to all of our Connecticut attractions, museums, art and culture, and events that we have lined up for you this summer. Today, we are also extremely pleased to announce that our 5 Connecticut Welcome Centers will be reopening. They are located in Danbury, Darien, North Stonington, West Willington, and Westbrook. We will be open for business summer to greet our visitors with travel services. Now through November 19th, we will be staffed with seasonal employees. All of our centers will have the ability for travelers to pick up maps, brochures, and other helpful information. Whether you are a Connecticut resident or an out-of-state visitor, we encourage everyone to take advantage of this great free resource. Then looking ahead, we have more fun planned. We will be holding our 17th annual Connecticut Open House Day on Saturday, June 12th, where over 100 Connecticut tourism attractions, including museums, arts and cultural venues, historical sites, nature centers, farms, shops, and vineyards, and more, will be welcoming all of our Connecticut residents back through their doors and will offer free or reduced admission or with special offers for this annual event. So let's all be sure to mark our calendars for June 12th for another great day out in Connecticut. Lastly, with all I've just referred to, we highly recommend everyone visit ctvisit.com to make sure you're up to date on what's open and when, what you can enjoy, and certainly make your itinerary for this summer. So we hope you'll all join us in saying yes to Connecticut this summer and visit ctvisit.com. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you, Christine. And I think one of the really special things about Connecticut is not only do we have a park or an outdoor recreation opportunity within 15 minutes drive of every person in this state, but we also have an incredibly rich heritage of agricultural, farms and opportunities for agritourism all around the state. There's nothing I enjoy better than, finishing a hike at one of our parks and then stopping by a farmer's market or getting an ice cream cone from a local dairy. It's just such a special thing about Connecticut, and we have such a special person who's leading up the Connecticut Grown Program and the Department of Agriculture, who's been a great partner to DEEP. I want to introduce Department of Agriculture Commissioner Brian Herbert.
Thank you, Commissioner Dykes, and thank you everybody for joining us. I have the distinct honor and pleasure of reading off the menu list for this weekend. But before I get there, I just want to remind everybody, as Commissioner Dykes mentioned, we have farms in every corner of the state. 5,500 farms in Connecticut that employ 22,000 people and generate $4 billion to the state's economy. Watching people walk around the trails here, working up an appetite, hoping that they're going to get some fresh Connecticut shellfish afterwards to satiate that need. And Connecticut farms have plenty to offer for your Memorial Day picnics and barbecues as you celebrate those who have given everything. You could start your picnic or barbecue with Connecticut cheeses and salamis. If you're into shellfish, pick up some oysters, clams, or some scallops from Long Island Sound. I know I will be, after we're done here, picking up a bag of 50 oysters to enjoy over the course of the weekend. For your main course, we have plenty of Connecticut-grown hot dogs, burgers, and ribs if you're into that. And for those of you who aren't big on the meats, don't forget the vegetables. We have cucumbers, tomatoes, and some really fresh asparagus right now, in addition to salad greens that you could round out the nutrition of your barbecue for. Also, depending on those guests that you may not have seen for years, some for good reasons, some for not good reasons, we have a selection of Connecticut-grown beers, wines, and beverages that you can responsibly serve to them to make sure that they can enjoy it with a meal. And as Commissioner Dykes mentioned, top it off with some Connecticut-grown ice cream. We've got a lot of great creameries from across the state who do a great job putting together a top-notch dessert there. It's also important that we recognize and take an opportunity to highlight that many Connecticut farms, farmers markets, and farm stands across the state accept SNAP and WIC. And we'll be rolling out our farmers market nutrition programs at the end of June for people to use at our farm stands and farmers markets. But it doesn't matter how you're paying, it's important that you do choose Connecticut grown, and we're trying to make it easy for people to do that. And those are just some of the ways that we are making it easy to say yes to Connecticut and the Department of Agriculture. For more information about where your local farm is or where you could pick up some of these great products, please visit the ctgrownmap.com. We have a catalog of literally hundreds of farms that are open to the public, their websites, their hours, if they take SNAP or not, where you can find them. And if those ideas didn't generate any thoughts for your menu, we have some better ideas at our new website, ctgrown.org, for you to peruse through, take a look at the pictures and the menu items. There's just a great selection to choose from and to serve your guests for this weekend. Thank you.
Well, thanks, Commissioner Herbert. And I want to say, kind of returning to the celebration of our environmental quality. As folks get out this weekend and enjoy some time outside in these spectacular places like Hammonasset, it's important to reflect on what it takes to keep these places safe and improve their environmental quality, to protect them and be good stewards of them going forward. It's largely because of the hard work, the sometimes invisible work of leaders like Peggy Lyons and our terrific partners here in Madison and all our municipal leaders all across the state, as well as legislative leaders like Senator Christine Cohen, who's the co-chair of the Environment Committee and an incredible partner for DEEP and an incredible person committed to protecting the environment. Whether it's helping to support clean transportation and transit options like Park Connect through her championship of the Transportation Climate Initiative program, or her commitment to helping address plastic pollution through advancing the bottle bill reforms, or helping to address plastic waste that's impacting our marine environment, or being a champion for the Passport to Parks program that's enabled us to provide for free parking access for all Connecticut residents at all of our parks. Senator Cohen has been an incredible friend and supporter for DEEP and for the environment, and I'm just so thrilled to invite her to the podium.
Thank you. Thanks, Commissioner. And I'm so happy to be here today. And you've just done my job for me, listing off all my legislation. So thank you. No, in all seriousness, this is such a great collaboration, a partnership with all levels of government to really bring transit options, more transit options to our state parks. You know, we have such a great partnership with Town Transit, Estuary Transit, getting people from across, you know, the shoreline and just inland to where they need to be, to our businesses, to our other transit areas. And now we'll be able to bring them to our parks. And they can enjoy all of this stretch of beach. 2 miles of beaches here. You're hearing about the number of visitors that are coming. I think this park opened in the 20s, was it? 1920, somewhere around there. I mean, obviously, you know, we have grown exponentially, you know, and all of this is possible by all of the hardworking employees, our state employees that, you know, erect beautiful buildings like this, make sure our parks are pristine. And now we have this new partnership with our transit, Town Transit, to really get people here to enjoy this pristine land. I'm so glad that the Commissioner mentioned the Long Island Sound Blue Plan. It was such an important passage this year, really making sure that we were highlighting areas of ecological and recreational significance. Really important right here, fishing, really important beds right out here on the Long Island Sound of flatfish and bird sanctuaries, just really exciting. So I encourage everybody to take a look at the Blue Plan and see if they can highlight some of the areas that they maybe perhaps didn't know were incredibly significant to us along the shoreline. But that'll provide us with a real plan, a roadmap to make sure that we're protecting this area, protecting our waterways. Really excited about some other legislation that does the same, some shellfish legislation, making sure that our aquaculture industry is alive and well and thriving. We're lucky right here in Madison. You can enjoy the beach and then go down the street and pick up some oysters at you know, our shell fishermen over at Indian River Shellfish. That's exciting. You can enjoy a day at the beach, secure a campsite here, and then go right into town, enjoy dinner and a movie in our lovely downtown area. You can peruse a fantastic bookstore. Look no further, because Connecticut is where it's at, and in particular Madison is just such a beautiful town. And now everybody across the state of Connecticut and beyond, not only interstate travel but intrastate travel, Town can go and now pick you right up at the train station and bring you here to enjoy all that we have to offer. So just really exciting partnership opportunity here, and can't wait to see everybody coming to visit us here in Madison. Thanks so much.
So finally, I want to say, you know, we're able to shift to this new normal and look forward to this exciting weekend and the kickoff to the summer because of the leadership of Governor Lamont. I know, Governor, you know, all of the incredible leadership you've provided in helping getting our vaccine rate where it is, helping to guide us through ways to stay safe over this last year and addressing this just challenging pandemic has enabled us to get to the moment that we are today. So I'm really excited about how DEEP is able to open up and adjust and relax some of our restrictions now because of your leadership. The governor gave us a little bit of homework. You might have heard we've got a June 1 deadline to ensure that all of our customer-facing functions across our agencies are restored to their pre-pandemic state by June 1st. So, Governor, we're ahead of schedule. I got my homework done, and so folks can be assured that all of our visitor centers, like Meg's Point, and you know, all of the museums and places that we operate across our parks are going to be those interior spaces. Many of them were closed during the pandemic. They're going to be all reopened by this weekend. We're excited to welcome the public back in. We are going to be asking people to continue to wear masks if they are indoors, but when you're out on the beach, If we vaccinated individuals, we know per CDC and DPH guidance do not need to wear masks or social distance. We're recommending that if you haven't been vaccinated, go get a vaccine. But if you can't do that, then you're encouraged recommended to continue to wear the mask and keep social distance. But we're getting back to normal, and we're so excited to do that, and that's because of your leadership, Governor. And so welcome you to the podium. Thank you.
Yeah. We're getting back to normal, Katie, and what a difference a year makes. What a difference a year makes. Peggy can tell it doesn't take much to get us to come to Hammonasset and Madison on a great day like this. A year ago, we were here. A year ago, we were saying we were only at 50% capacity, which is more than everybody else, by the way, the other states. We really worked hard, Katie and I, to make sure that our beaches, our parks could stay open. It was just so important, especially given what was happening a year ago. But here we are today. A year ago, I got to tell you, I felt a little, when I was standing here, like the Grinch that stole Memorial Day. I was really hoping no more than 50% would come to our beach. I was hoping for maybe some clouds would be hanging over and discourage. And come on, man, we've been waiting 2 years for this day. What's going on? We want the bright sunshine and make sure everybody knows that they're welcome at all of our parks, all of our beaches, starting right here in Hammonasset. Katie mentioned, we're looking for some folks. We're looking folks at Deep who can help us with our parks and to help us with our beaches. We're looking for some lifeguards, good jobs. So sign up. This is a great thing to do. And I know Katie was saying and Brian was saying maybe at the end of a long hike you have a Connecticut ice cream cone or something. Well, how about a cool Frosty? That appeals to me. And this is the last weekend where we have drinks on us. And that means that if you've been vaccinated, you can go to any of our restaurants, bars, and get a cool Frosty or whatever you like to drink as long as you get a meal. So good chance to do that. Think about that now on your way to or from the beach or the park. And I did notice, I've always got a little chuckle out of this, Cupid.com said if you've been vaccinated, there's a 14% better chance you're going to be able to get a date. So there you go. When you don't want to have that drink alone, and you don't want to be the one sap that has to pay for it. Can I just say seriously, this transit option is really important. I love it because the rest of the region, as you heard, rediscovered Connecticut last year. We had more visitors to our parks and beaches than we've ever had before. People just loving the outdoors and everything that Connecticut and we're making it easier for people to come back. 100% capacity, no 6 feet of distancing, no need to wear the mask. It's going to be marvelous. But Garrett, what I love about this initiative, where you have free bus service on weekends, you have free bus service that takes you right here to any of our amazing parks and beaches, is we have a lot of kids in our state who haven't had an opportunity to discover beaches like this. We have a lot of kids right down the street in downtown New Haven that maybe didn't always know how they could get here. And I really want them to have the opportunity to experience what we're all able to enjoy and what it means to them and why it makes Connecticut so special. And that's part of what this effort is all about. And Christine, we wouldn't be able to afford it without programs like the Transportation Climate Initiative. Right now, we're able to do the free bus service on weekends, able to do our free summer learning camps and the such, thanks to some of the federal support we got and our amazing delegation. But going forward, we're going to have to pass the Transportation Climate Initiative, what it means to make sure that our major arteries, we do everything we can to keep them environmentally sound, do everything we can to move people towards electric vehicles so that there's less asthma and less of those preconditions that caused some of the worst complications from COVID. And by the way, it allows us to have free bus service so kids in Clinton, kids in Madison, and kids in New Haven are able to enjoy amazing venues just like this. So we've got a little bit of work to do. We've got another couple of weeks in session, but in the meantime, I think everybody's pretty happy to be able to get out to Madison, get to the beach, and hopefully we're going to have a couple of cloudy days, and it's going to be sunshine again. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Governor. So there's a lot going on. Happy to take any questions that folks may have.
Governor, what's the status of the negotiations over TCI in the Capitol at this point?
Well, I mean, Christine could probably speak to this better than I do, or Katie, but I think everybody knows how important we think it is. I know everybody loves the benefits of transportation, loves the benefits of a clean environment, but not everybody wants to pay for it. We're doing this in association with our regional governors, starting with Rhode Island and Massachusetts. And I think we're going to get this over the finish line. But Christine, do you want to add to that?
Sure. Thanks, Governor. So we know that some of the other states that are part of the consortium don't need to act legislatively, but Connecticut, the way we're set up, we do need to act, and we believe we have the votes necessary to move TCI forward. We believe it's an important initiative at this point. We know that carbon pollution, greenhouse gas emissions, air quality, in particular, we are in non-attainment right now. We need to do something, and the time is now. We have waited far too long to take action from an environmental standpoint. Meanwhile, you know, folks in our environmental justice communities are getting sick. You know, cancer, asthma rates skyrocketing. It's time for Connecticut to be a leader and to really take action, and we need to step up. So again, I think we have the votes there. Negotiations are still ongoing. We're working very closely with the commissioner and the governor's office, and you know, all four caucuses to try and see this over the finish line.
Thanks. Christine, can I ask you something, please?
The other Christine.
We're toward the end of the fiscal year, and people are planning vacations now. So what kind of marketing budget do you have left for, like, marketing in general and out-of-staters?
Sure, absolutely. So we currently have a marketing campaign, as you've heard, Say Yes to Connecticut and Market, that launched back in the beginning of May, and it's a $1.2 million budget, and that will run through September, and that is targeted to both in-state and out-of-state residents.
And it's radio, TV, print, what?
Sure, so it's a digital marketing campaign, which is search, social, content seeding, along with video streaming and local TV.
And the welcome centers are opening this weekend?
Yes, we will have three of the welcome centers are opening this weekend, and the other two will be opening up, I believe it's June 12th.
Not to put you on the spot, but do you know offhand which three?
Sure, I'll get out my notes. Hang on one second.
Oh, that's on the handout. Well, at least I can read that.
No, let's see. I can tell you right now. It is. Let's see. It is Danbury and Darien will open on June 12th, and so that is West Willington, Westbrook, North Stonington will be opening this weekend.
Okay, thanks. And on the Park Connect website, can somebody explain a little bit what's on there? What has it launched yet?
Can I just jump in on 1 second? Christine, I got some good news for you. Latest update.
Love it.
Well, now, thanks to ARPA, it's not 1.3, but 13 million we've got for tourism over the next 2 years. People are rediscovering Connecticut. I want them to know what's going on.
Great, great. More marketing on the way.
We're marketing our market.
Sure. So the Park Connect website that Deep put together, it's launching. It'll be included in the press release that goes out after this, and it will have schedules for the services, information on how to access each of the 5 parks we highlighted, which routes serve those, direct you how to go find those maps to get those services. Estuary Transit District has prepared some handouts as well that are going to be made available with the transit schedule. So it's going to be as simple as possible for people to figure out what time the buses are coming, how do I make that connection, and then our CT Rides website has a great trip planner as well.
Do you have any estimates on projections on the number of folks who take advantage of this?
We don't. This is our first time in Connecticut ever doing this, so we're really excited to pilot it. We're launching it as a pilot to see what the ridership levels are, but it's going to require a lot of word of mouth events like this to spread awareness and try and share it with our riders.
And if the pilot is successful, then what?
Then we hope to be able to continue and expand it. There's a lot of other state parks that we can do similar types of connections with. You look at places in Westport or Stamford or even further inland. Our team actually did like a great survey of every state park and every transit route in the state to see what would be the easiest to launch quickest, and these were the 5. So we're hoping, if this is successful, to roll it out in more parts of the state.
And that, it would seem that this might not lend itself to all parks, right?
Right, exactly. There's some that you just can't get to with transit, like Burr Pond State Park in Torrington, where I'm from. You can't get up there with the transit. So.
Okay.
Start with that?
Okay, the event that I spoke of is Open House Day. That's June 12th, and that's over 100 attractions across the state where they offer either free or reduced admission to Connecticut residents. And we'll have more information. There is information on ctvisit.com now, and I believe more partners are signing up between now and then, so that list will only be growing. Did-
For the lacrosse court, I was meant to go lacrosse tournament up north. Does the tourism have any promotion for that, or the state? Maybe you or the governor.
Okay, I think they're talking about the NCAA. Yeah.
NCAA, I think
lacrosse.
Saturday and Monday. 4 finalists, best in the country. No Connecticut teams, but tons of Connecticut players, I noticed. I really recommend it. Up at Rensselaer Field, we just opened up the Charter Oak Bridge to make it even easier for you to get there. How NCAA is promoting that, I don't know, but we're doing it right now.
Okay, so the state hasn't done any promotion for like welcoming tourists for the to see the.
I got to check on that. Can't tell you, sorry.
I have a question for you from our Jody Latina. She's asking, does TSI include the gas tax?
The Transportation Climate Initiative is a fee on pollutants, it's a fee on asthma, it's at the wholesale level, paid for by the wholesalers.
But your administration estimates that it will initially add 5 cents to the price of a gallon of gas, and it will increase to 10 cents over the.
Well,
over
it's
the
certainly
10
capped
years.
at that. What the wholesaler wants to pass along is, up to them. Sometimes they're competitive and want to keep their rates lower than others. But you're right, that's what the cap is. Anybody else?
So will it, how can I tell her? Will the TCI include the gas tax?
No, the TCI, the Transportation Climate Initiative, is a fee on pollutants paid for at the wholesale level. As Paul mentions out, though, sometimes they can pass that along. That's up to them. You still look quizzical. Go ahead, help me.
Yeah, it's exactly as the governor said. The Transportation Climate Initiative is a climate change mitigation program. It's an environmental regulation. It will require the oil industry to pay for the pollution and the environmental impacts that their products are causing. It will set a cap on the amount of emissions that are allowed associated with the burning of gasoline and diesel fuels in vehicles. And that cap will decline 26%, so we'll reduce emissions 26% over a decade. And there is a compliance cost associated for companies that will be subject to the regulation. We have done extensive modeling, and we expect that if the companies pass on all the costs associated with that compliance to consumers, we could see gasoline prices rise by about 5 cents when the program would start in 2023. And then that would increase to about 10 cents over a decade as that cap tightens. But this is not a gas tax. A gas tax sets a fixed price that consumers pay. The oil industry doesn't have to pay at all in a gas tax, and a gas tax does not guarantee that emissions will come down. So this is not a gas tax. It's an environmental regulation that for the first time will require the oil industry, which is the largest contributor to greenhouse gas emissions in our state and the source of 67% of the air pollution generated in our state, to take responsibility for the environmental impacts and the health impacts of their products.
Perfect.
Thanks.
I think quizzical is my resting face.
That's good. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Short walk here. Is that the walking path over there?